Hey, everybody. I'm so glad you've joined us. We've got a few live here with us, and I hope more of you catch the rewatch of this. Um, we've got a couple things on our mind for tonight, and I'm hoping that it's relevant to what you guys have going on. And we've I wanted to talk about our new lean protein shakes for one hot minute, and then I'm going to turn it over to Marnie and let her dump her brain all over you guys too. So, but I'm gonna do this super fast. Okay, I've got all three lean proteins here, right? I'm gonna be really honest with you guys. My brain is already sleeping. Earlier today, I messed up that peas are legumes. And it's just been stuff like that all day long. So I'm a little bit nervous about this little meeting here. So hang with me. Okay, so we've got all three leans here, right? Vanilla whey and mocha plant-based protein, and then chocolate whey. All right. So today at Walmart, I snooped at some other protein powders because I had a couple people say, oh, that's so expensive. And I'm like, what? So I did some looking around because I was like, what? No, this is cheap. This is $2.18 a meal, I believe, Ambassador Price. That's really cheap. $1.09 for a snack, that's a candy bar. And I get that it's the cost of the milk too, or whatever you mix it in. But I was looking at the protein shakes at Walmart, and they're very competitive. They are a little bit more, typically across the board, but I would expect that because the ones that I was comparing to have sucralose and a whole bunch of fillers and junk in them. So of course they're going to be cheaper. They even had casein, which is a dairy product, but that most people are allergic to casein. Not everybody is allergic to whey. Most people can't do casein. So I'm like, why in the world is that in there? It's just a cheap filler. So I thought that was really interesting. And I have a post that I want to throw up that has a whole bunch of protein shakes in the comments, their labels, and compares them and talks about why they're bad. And it doesn't have the brand names, which I think is honorable. That's respectful, you know? But I just think it's a really good comparison. So if you guys run into that hiccup, be sure and holler. We've got some tips for that. I wanted to go over a little bit like why there's such a big deal. One of my friend's husband has lost 15 pounds. I think it was in 10 days. No. Let me look really fast. Dewey. His name is Dewey. Dewey. Where's his post? 7 days.
Wow.
15 pounds in 7 days. You know what that tells me? That tells me that people are not eating enough protein in their diets on a daily basis. That tells me that their body is asking for more than what they're providing it on a regular basis. So when you give it more, it starts releasing all of this junk that it was holding on to because it was worried that you weren't going to give it what it needed. That's when we're not eating enough and we're not giving it what it needs. We flip into starvation mode. And this happens where our body won't release anything. So I think this is really important. We've got ladies. I know men tend to lose weight faster, and that's really frustrating. But we've got ladies that are losing between 6 and 11 too in that first week period. So it's pretty exciting how fast they're slimming down, especially around the waist. So, and we're finding that benefit is from the extra protein, but also from the fiber. So I want to challenge you guys all to get on board with this. We've got a 14-day trial group going up that's starting on Monday. and it is going to go through Thanksgiving. And the reason why I'm not worried about that is because life still happens even on Thanksgiving, and we have to have the tools that we need to do life. So this is going to go with them even on Thanksgiving Day. Are they going to eat that food? They are, but they're going to drink their shake too. Or else. No, just kidding. So I'm not worried about Thanksgiving. I think that will be just fine. And then we also have the corporate, I keep forgetting the name of it. Slay. 14-day sleigh. That you can start whenever you want, and you have until December 14th to start, and your prize is $1,000 and $10,000. Okay, so like we've talked about this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, so I'm not going to spend very much time on that. But it's quite an opportunity, and I don't want anybody to miss it that wants it. So make sure that you get all that information on that if you want. And then you'll notice that I've kind of blown up my own personal wall the last few days regarding lean posts. So if you need any more posts, there's long posts, there's short posts, there's videos, there's pictures. You go steal and tweak and do whatever you want with those, okay? And then I want you guys to remember that the Spanish launch is happening in November as well. And so there's a promo code right now for the next 48 hours, $20 off a new enrollment. So it makes the enrollment $14.95. And I don't know how to spell this. I don't know how to say this word. So I'm going to put it in our Goal Crushers chat and our tribe chat. Okay. It's like, all I see is commando, and that's not it. So that's all I see. Like Comunidad or something like that. So yeah, we'll just put that up in the chat. If you need that, be sure and ask somebody for it so you can get it. Okay? Okay. I'm going to shut up for a minute. Marnie, what's on your mind?
Okay. Well, I took no notes. We talked today and messaged back and forth, and I kind of just kept going about my day. So we had talked about marketing versus yeah. Did you forget too?
Totally did.
So how to share without looking like we are selling, how to make our products and our business look inviting. And we have a lot of people that would be really turned off to feel like they're selling something. So we kind of wanted to talk about how to incorporate this on our social media pages in such a way that is attractive. It's attraction marketing, it's relationship building. But when you're Brianna's talked about the catalog versus the magazine, and that's kind of ties into this. So I think it's important to not use tons of graphics that when I look back to the beginning and how I started, I'm kind of embarrassed because, oh my, like I didn't know. Hi Danielle, you made it.
I made it.
Yay. I think it's important to share. People want to join you after they know that they can trust you and after you've built a rapport with them. And part of that is by not looking spammy. So I've had a lot of people ask me recently, like how to start sharing posts. Brianna was talking about her wall. Go and take in her stuff. Just make sure when you do stuff like that, Bree is very bubbly and perky, and if that is not you, if you maybe are a little bit more serious and you're putting something like that on your wall, people are going to look at that and say that does not sound like so-and-so. So you want to make sure it sounds like you. In real life, people will be able to read through that to see if that is you talking or if that's somebody else talking. I am all about not reinventing the wheel. I'm a mom to 11. My plate is so full. I homeschool. I am pretty much busy from the moment that my feet touch the ground to when I go fall into bed at night. So if I see a post that I love and somebody has already invested that time and that work, it's okay to take that and use that as the skeleton and the base to your post. Just make sure it sounds like you. I also think people want to see you. If you have a darling baby, use him as a photo prop. You know, show your real life. People love that kind of stuff, and they're drawn to it. And when they start seeing that, and you're weaving Plexus into that, I think that's really important. I think those are my big things. What about you, Brianna? Anything that you want to add to that?
I think so too. The only thing that came to mind was really like, right now it seems like we don't have a whole lot of people biting about challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to encourage you that I think a part of it is because there are so many bad protein powders out there that it really gives them a bad rep. Like one bad apple spoiled for the whole bunch kind of a thing. And this morning I woke up thinking, there are people watching me. They're watching me. They see my posts. They just don't like protein shakes. So that was one of my statuses this morning. Did you guys see that? But it was like, all right, be honest. Where are my protein shake haters? Don't be shy. I really want to know. And like a ton of Ria's friends commented, and she's like, I'll get you a sample. I'll get you a sample. And I'm like, wow, this is really working for Ria. But then by the end of the day, I did get a couple people that accepted samples from me too. And these are just free samples that were like, just try it. And so far, every single person that has tried the new way has been impressed and placed an order. That's incredible. Seriously, if we can just get it in their hands. So if you don't have the protein powders yourself and you need samples, holla, we're going to get y'all samples, okay? Because it's really important. I like it when they order themselves and use the 60-day money-back guarantee, but there are some instances where we just have to have samples. So don't be shy of that. And like, you know, Jake's challenging me to talk about this or to think about this marketing versus selling thing. And of course, it's heavy on my mind because we have another coaching call tomorrow and he's asking for follow-up on this. So it's really heavy on my mind. And he said, selling it is explaining the difference between ours and theirs sometimes. It's not just saying, here's this awesome thing that I have. Look at it. It's shiny and pretty. Doesn't it look nice? Like, so that's marketing. And then selling it is saying, this is why I love it so much. This is why I think you need it too. Like, I'm not just being all hyped up. I'm being honest. And I'm saying, this is why, and this is why, and this is why, and this is why. And oftentimes selling gets a really bad rap because we think about that horrible sales guy in the back of our head, that horrible salesman experience that we had 5 times, 6 times, whatever. But that's not all what selling really is. So he's challenging us all to rethink what we're putting out there on our wall. Are we just marketing with graphics, or are we adding content and value that supports what we know about our products? And just a random thought that just came to mind. I'm totally stealing the floor, Marnie.
Okay.
We talked a lot about compliance. Was it last week or the week before that? And tonight, I was just zoning out on the couch, and a Diamond Ambassador was doing a live video, and her husband is an ER doctor in Hawaii, and she has several degrees. They're a super smart couple, and they have several kids, and she's talking about children's health and supplementation, and it was not compliant in the least, not remotely compliant. And it was like, I bet you the compliance department is not paying any attention to videos, are they? I bet they're not watching lives. So if I want to scoot around compliance, I bet lives is where I need to do it. So I might challenge myself to do that a little bit more, because I honestly think there is something to that. And I'm going to challenge myself to add as much content and value as possible in 5 minutes or less, and actually set timers, because I'm all done with 30-minute lives. But I just want to challenge you guys to think about what you can be doing different to reach people too. Because so often we get stuck in the same way of sharing, and we don't really see anything wrong with it, because there really isn't anything wrong with it, but there's not really any variety. So if you're stuck and you're frustrated, think about what could change. And maybe I'll have more ideas after the coaching call tomorrow too. I don't know. I'll see. I would hope so. What else did you think about, Marnie?
You know, and people also, when you're sharing and you're talking about these products, really it boils down to people want to know how these products are going to change their lives. You know, when you're talking about the fact that, you know, there was a time that you couldn't go to the park with your kids and be playing with them and pushing them on the swing. They want to know, like, how is this going to change their life? So sometimes it's not as much about giving the details of the product as much as it's about the outcome. Like, how is this going to add value to their life? How is this going to change their life? How is this going to help them be a better mom, a better wife, you know, feel better? You know, even when you're promoting the business, like, how could that change their life? So I think it's easy.
For them, like,
Yeah.
they can see it.
Yeah.
And this is an area that I struggle with. I'd rather just talk about the label, please.
It's that green in us. I am a research geek. I love researching. I love all that. Most people don't care. They really don't. If that you have a tired mom on the couch who's napping every day and going to bed before her kids, and like there's not a whole lot of joy in her life because she feels so crummy, she's really not going to care how great alpha lipoic acid is or chromium or whatever. But you know, when you can paint that picture about, relate to them what your life was before, relate to them, connect with them on that level, and then show what your life is now in the products or even on the business. That's what they want to see. And even with the business side, when people are interested in the business, helping them really grasp their why. It may, you know, I want to retire my husband. I want my husband home. He is my why. But when I take that further, how is that why going to impact my whole life? How is that why going to impact my kids? Having my husband home is going to change everything. And so when you're drawing that picture and you know, we will be waking up together. We'll be doing life together all day, eating breakfast together. My 7-year-old will have his daddy around all the time. You know, when you're picking it apart, your why is kind of vague. So when you really paint that picture and go deeper, how that why is going to impact things in your family. You know, if somebody their why is, I just want to earn $300 a month. Well, why? How is that going to change your life? Is that going to mean that your products are paid for? Is that going to mean your husband doesn't have to work 50 hours a week? Maybe he only works 40. Like, how does that why change? Maybe that $300 a month is going to put your little girl in ballet lessons that she so badly wants, or your little boy in karate lessons. When we pick apart the why and we paint a bigger picture, I think all of a sudden that why becomes totally different. It's easy to say, it changes from a want. I want my husband home. Yeah, that's my want. But when I think about the why and how that's going to impact every area of my family's life, it's huge all of a sudden. And now I'm driven. I'm way more driven than just saying I want my husband home. But when I add the why and break that down, I'm motivated.
I agree. I have to agree. And I think that it's hard for people to get that because we don't think about that typically. It's not an option. That seems very irresponsible for our husbands to not have full-time jobs. That doesn't seem like And nobody's life is like that. So it's very hard to get people to see the
Mm-hmm.
potential. And that was another part of the challenge that I was given that I haven't even talked about yet with you guys. Part one was about marketing versus sales, and part two was about the business. And you think you're sharing the business, but you're not at all. So I'll dive into more. I don't want to go too much past 9, but I'll dive in just a tiny little bit. Some of you are in Goal Crushers group, and if you're not in our working Goal Crushers group but you want to be, just follow. Anybody can be in there. It's not like a secret society or anything like that. But there was a status that I put in there that I wanted to know your top 5 reasons someone should join you in this business. And he said, Brianna, I guarantee you they will say, and he did it. He pegged exactly why. Self-growth, confidence, community, a little bit of extra money. I can't remember, but that was it. And his point is it's a business, and you're trying to attract people who are business minded. And all we're talking about are flowery things that don't really make up a solid rooted business. Does that make sense? And I was like, oh boy. And he said, I'm going to put you on the spot. Tell me 5 reasons why this Plexus business is a rooted, solid business. And I was like, okay. And he goes, go. I'm like, okay. And he said it couldn't be anything to do with me. Nothing could I say about me. Nothing. Everything had to be these isolated benefits. So the things that came to my mind, and he said I passed the test, but I don't know if he was lying or not. But he said that I said most startup businesses, they do not have you do not make money on those startup businesses on average for 5 years. Everything that you have coming in the first 5 years of that business, you put right back into your business. And then on average, after 5 years, you will pocket some of that cash. Not all of it, not enough to live off of, but on average, there's some going into your pocket. It's not 100% going back into your business as a reinvestment. And that was not the case for me with Plexus. I purchased my products that I consumed, and I multiplied my return on investment that many times. That was not the case. Within the first month, my investment had multiplied. So, and then another thing was my products are products that doctors are going to be prescribing soon because they're at the forefront of science and medicine. And we need to acknowledge that and know what we have and act like it. And oftentimes we just don't. And because of our compensation plan and the way that it's established, it is for the underdog to go straight to the company. Most network marketing companies, they have people at the beginning of the company that they go straight to the top right away, and then they change the compensation plan, and then they make it so that the newbie who just joined the company can't ever go to the top. And that is not at all what Plexus is. Plexus has it so, Teddy, he's having a really bad dream. Poor baby, he's crying. Can you hear him? He's like sobbing. I think he stopped. Okay. So they still 10 years later, the company is 10 years old, and you can still join now and go to the top. And I know that because I'm watching people rank Emerald, Sapphire, and Diamond. And if you aren't watching these people rank, ask me who to follow. And I'll tell you who to follow so you can watch it too, because it does build your belief through the roof. So those are the reasons why I think other moms should join my business because they can do a real job from home in their trashed house and get up. But they have to work hard. They have to be self-driven. They have to be in the right headspace to do this. Have to be. But they can build a solid business with this company. That's why somebody should join me in this business. So that's going to be my challenge for you guys, and I'll post it in the Goal Crushers group. But he challenged each one of my runners to post a live on their wall. But I have to do it first. So I want you guys to be thinking about it while I work on my own gumption to do it. But I think that it's really important for us to remember why we're doing this. There was a really cool quote that really did piggyback on what Marnie said, even though it didn't seem like it. But this is why, when we're faced to do these scary things, we have to remember our why. If you want somebody to step outside of their comfort zone, they need to know what their why is. Otherwise, what's motivating them outside of their comfort zone? So this quote that I saw, courage is resistance to fear, mastery of fear, not absence of fear. We don't wait around till we're not scared. We do it scared. Yeah. That's all I've got. Is that all you've got, Marnie?
Yeah, I think we covered it. We're not too far behind. What time is it? Oh, we're doing good.
Does anybody have any questions? Silence.
They're half asleep.
Me too. Time change has wrecked my life. I message Maria like, it's ruined. My life is over. It's ruined. I can't even believe it. I put the kids to bed at 7:45 tonight. In their little brains, it's 8:45. And all week long, they have been up until 9:30 or 10 because that's 8:30 or 9. And poor Rogan has like deep, dark lines. And I'm like, he's getting sick. No, he's not. He's freaking tired. So am I.
I did not even turn my clocks back Sunday. We were so exhausted after the wedding. I left it and everybody went to bed at what they thought was 7. It was 6 o'clock. I put my kids to bed at 6 o'clock. My 13-year-old, oh, she's a smart one. She's like, you forgot to turn the clock back. I'm like, shh. I'll leave you up a little bit if you just hold this secret. But yeah, no, my kids have gone to bed early all week. Yeah. I'm not adjusting the time that the clock says. We're just going by what their bodies say.
Yeah, I messed up. That's
my body.
Right? That's what I did in the spring, and it was the first time change that actually was fine, and we just like slowly migrated over the next couple weeks. And I don't know what I was thinking this time.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
That was bad. Okay, well, we won't keep you. We'll let you. I had an organic fruit snap before we started because I was so tired. So now it's like really hitting my system, and I'm like, hi, let's go. We can keep going for that 3 minutes. It might turn over to that you know, when you have a sleepover and you get to that stage where you're just at the giggly stage. I feel that coming. It's coming. Oh no. It doesn't mean that there would be brain power for us. So bad. Okay, well, here's to tomorrow. We are gonna all sleep and really do think about why other mamas should join you in this business, because that really is what propels us forward. And true beauty in this business is helping others achieve their goals, because it's really not very fun to just keep doing it for ourselves. None of us really tick like that. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're in it for ourselves too, but we're not 100% selfish. It's a lot more fun to bring friends along. So, okay. Alrighty. I'm going to leave you guys be. Thanks for hopping on tonight. Thanks, Marnie.
See you guys later.
Bye. Sleep good.